All right, Mrs. Coyle made a boo-boo, so I'm going to have to try and stitch this together. All right, so I've already got the pieces here. We've got percents, which we changed to a fraction by putting over 100. We then simplify it to 7/25. This one's a little different. We had to change it to a decimal first in order to find out this is 375 thousandths, because we don't put a decimal in our fraction numerator. So I changed it to 375 thousandths, wrote it over the number over the place value, and then I simplified it down to 3/8. In order to get from a fraction to a percent, we divide 8 by 11, and then we multiply it by 100 to get what our actual percent is. Again, divide by 1 divided by 20 is 0.05, which is 5%. To go from a percent to a decimal, move it twice to the left. So this gives us 0.025, this gives us 0.36. And the opposite, to go from a decimal to a percent, twice to the right, twice to the right. Please remember, if you have a whole number in your decimal, that means it's going to be over 100%. All right? So in this case, 6.5, 6 was a whole number, so we have 650%. All right, down here, we've got a bunch of proportions. I'm going to pause this here in a second once I explain this first one, and then you're just going to check your answers based on what I've given you. So I had 15 is 125% of what number? So 15 was our is, so it goes on the top. We needed to find our of, and that percent is always over 100, no matter what. We always put the percent over 100. So you cross multiply 15 times 100, which is 1,500, divide that by 125, and you find that x is 12. Now, this makes sense because 15 is 125% of 12, meaning 15 is going to be more than what our of is. All right, I'm going to pause this here, let y'all check your work, because all of these are going to be solved the same way. All right, so we've got 20 times 100 divided by 12 gives us x is equal to 166.67. We've got 74 times 100 divided by 37 gives us 200. 16 times 100 divided by 164 gives us 9.76%. And 11 times 45 divided by 100 is 4.95. And 205 times 16 divided by 100 is 32.8. All right, so we're setting these up. Is over of, percent over 100, every single time. All right, let's skip to the next page. All right, so now we're talking about percent change. Percent change was our change over the original equal to the percent over 100. Now, we need to also make sure we say, okay, is it an increase or a decrease? So, from 48 to 16, that means I'm going to find my change by subtracting 16 from 48. Oop, not 6. So my change is 32. My original is 48. I'm trying to find my percent. So, I could either cross multiply and divide, or take 32 divided by 48, and then multiply that by 100. So that gives us a 66.6% decrease. Because if you look at it, we went from a larger number to a smaller number. All right, each of these is going to be the same. We're looking for the percent. So you can cross multiply and divide, or divide and then multiply it by 100 to get your percent. So I'm going to go through, solve these, you'll check. Sounds good. All right, so we're looking at this. We've got a 66.6% decrease, 84.2% decrease, 291.6% increase, and a 9.2% increase. Again, you can cross multiply, then divide, or you can divide and then multiply by 100. Both will give you the same answer. Either way, you're dividing by the denominator, multiplying by your 100 in these. All right, let's look at selling prices. This one's a little more complicated because we have a two-step problem. We are going to have to find the discount and then find the selling price. So if you remember, I talked to you guys about discounts, markups, taxes, things like that. A discount means you're going to lower the price. A markup means you're going to raise the price. And a tax is going to raise the price. So, but a tax is on the end price. So you'd have to do the discount before the tax on number 21. Let's work through these. We've got the original price of a Wii for $249.99. I wish I had made that a little bit of an easier number. Should have been $250. Oh well. If you remember, I can either discount it by 47%, or I can think about what I'm going to pay at the end, what percent I pick, because 100% is that $249.99. Now, if I go through and I say, okay, 100%, not 1,000, minus 47, so I now know I'm paying 53% of the total. So I can either find the discount of 47%, or I can find 53% of the total price, and that's what I'm going to pay. So that's what I'm going to do today. We've got percent over 100. We're trying to find the part we pay out of the old total. So I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So we've got 53 times 249.99. Divide that by 100. And I get my new price is $132.49. Now, I stopped at the 49 because the 4 behind it is not a 5. So that means I'm not going to round up. I'm just going to stay the same. So it's $132.49. Cost of Crocs, $29.95. The markup is 24%. Markup means that it's going to be more than the 100% of it. So in other words, I've got either I can find the markup, which is 24%, or I know I'm going to pay this plus another 24%. So that's 124% over 100. Is that equal to the original cost, $29.95, and our new cost. So, cross multiply. Ooh, blurry. 124 times $29.95 divided by 100. And I'm going to pay $37.14. Again, you could have found this by just finding the 24% and adding it to your $29.95. So you could do 124% just to find the end price, or you can just find the 24% of $29.95 and add it to that number. All right, let's look at our Kylie Cosmetics Sipping Pretty palette for $64.99. The discount is 15%, and then it's taxed 8%. So we got to do the discount first. So the discount means I'm going to subtract. So I've got 100% minus 15. Gives me 85% that I'm paying. So I'm going to put 85 over 100. Set it equal to the discounted price, which is 60, and then the original, $64.99. So cross multiply, then divide. 85 times $64.99. Divide by 100. And that's my discounted price. But I'm not done. So I'm paying $55.24, but it tells me I also have to tax that amount by 8%. So In this case, I'm going to put 8 over 100 set equal to 55.24. I could do 8 or I could do 108 because I know I'm going to pay 100% plus another 8%. So, cross multiply and divide. 108 times 55.24 divide by 100. And my end price is 59.66 cents. All right. This would have worked as well as I just did the 8. 8 times 55.24 divide by 100 gives me 442, which means that 55.24 plus 442 still gives me 59.66. It works both ways. Whatever works for you, do it. I just like this because I skip an extra step. All right, let's flip it over. The Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown pass in 37.5% of his 16 games during the season. How many games did Baker throw a touchdown pass during this season? All right, we got a percent over 100. We know that he had 16 games during the season. So that's the total number of games. We're trying to find how many he threw a touchdown pass in. So we cross multiply and divide. Your answer should be 37.6 times 16 divide by 100. Did I do that right? 37.6 times 16. Now we can't get a part of a game, so that would mean he had 6 games where he did that. All right. Ryan has collected 29 detention slips from the front office this year. Of his collection, Ryan has 13 for being tardy to class. What percent of Ryan's detentions are for being tardy? We're trying to find the percent, which is always over 100. And we've got the 13 that are tardy out of the total 29. So you can do this by cross multiplying and dividing, or 13 divided by 29 is 44 times 100 gives you 44.83% were for being tardy. Remember, you always label your word problems. In 2019, gasoline prices reached $3.26 in the United States. In 2020, the price of gas decreased by about 60%. How much was gas during 2020? All right, we've got the 326. We've got 60% over 100. We're trying to find the new price. So we got 326 times 60 divided by 100. That means gas prices were $1.96 in 2020. All right, guys. I hope you get what you needed out of this. I hope you did your best, and I will see you soon. Good luck on your test. Bye.